Okay, today we're going to be explaining how to fight Apostle, like sort of up close without using any like weapon skills or like cheesing him or like just basically just like how to fight him straight up and like, being relatively close, a lot of the time. And we're doing this kill with the greatsword and like with keyboard and mouse because that's what Munfler, a fellow runner, is doing. So I'm making this guide mostly for him, but a lot of the points will be applicable to like anyone trying to learn Apostle, and I'll also be explaining how to do certain punishes with like faster weapons because I mostly have experience with Apostle, with the S stock, which is like a thrusting sword. It's quite a fast weapon, so I'll be explaining those as well as we go along. And I guess the only special thing here, I have shift bound as the jump button, and I have like the lower mouse thumb button or like side button as the strong attack or heavy attack input. And I think besides that, the layout is pretty standard. Yeah, let's get right into it. And just to start off with, you see me stop like at this really particular, I guess not really particular, you see me stop like right around this distance, and that's because like generally my style is to like wait around this distance for like an explicit opening to approach Apostle, because like around this distance you'll be able to outspace anything he does, and then you can like read what he does and then like respond accordingly. And I think you'll be able to see like all of the different openings he can give you in the course of this fight. So you see me stop right at this particular distance, and he does like the jump attack, and with the greatsword I just roll in and like don't punish and just get around the side of him. In phase 1, I like to go counterclockwise or like to the left generally, because if you go that way, you can strafe almost anything he gives you. But we'll explain that like more as we go along, because there's like a lot of different attacks you can do after this point. Let's see. You can also like outspace this jump attack if you recognize it and like sprint away a little bit or something. And you can like come back in for like a jumping R1 if you have like a fast kind of weapon. I think with the I don't know how it would go with the greatsword. I haven't tested that out. You might be able to do like a running R1 if you like run away and outspace the jumping attack and then come in for a running R1. I think a jumping R1 would probably be too slow, but if you have like a fast weapon, you could even do like you can definitely do a jumping R1 or like a running R2 or something like that. Yeah, either just like roll in or like outspace it and then punish, or you can also outspace and then just like run in if you have like a really slow weapon you don't want to deal with like tight punish windows. But anyway, yeah, just for now we'll just roll in and then get around the side of him to be able to strafe whatever he does next. And then there, if you have like really like, this is one of the few things you I guess you don't like technically need to roll it, but at least like with my kind of style, I just roll it because the positioning to strafe this getaway attack that he's doing right now is very precise. And it's also it's still pretty hard to like roll it just because it comes out relatively quickly, and especially if you're like sprinting and you need to like sprint into a roll to avoid this attack. It can be like very, very fast reaction. And what is it? That's like a big part of the difficulty of this fight, at least the way I do it. Eventually, if you practice a lot, you will be able to like react roll to the getaway attack, or I guess if you really wanted to, you could also practice like how to strafe it. Like you basically just want to like get right behind him and figure out that like specific positioning, but I haven't done that myself, so I can't speak much more on it. I just know that it's possible, but it's precise. And anyway, yeah, it's fast, but it is possible to react roll in. Okay, and then you see again here. I don't like sprint straight after him. I think with some people they like sprint straight after him and just like deal with whatever he does, but whenever he gets away or like creates space, I'll like wait for an explicit opening to approach him. And here we see that I wait around. You see this like this specific distance I'm waiting at. He does like his double swipe or double spin here, and that's a very fast attack. But like I barely need to react to it at all, because like I'm too far away so that it doesn't hit me, and I wait at this distance so that like he doesn't attack, but I always outspace it, and then. I remember right, yeah, he follows up with a fireball, and like the fireball is like a very common follow-up to the double swipe there. At least it's a very common follow-up in phase 1. And if you have like a fast weapon, you can what is it? You can like run up and do a charge R2, or maybe even like a charge R2 plus an R1 on the fireball if you notice it like really quickly, or if you sort of predict it since it's so common after the double swipe. And with some like slower weapons like normal great swords, you can like do a jumping R2. That's perfectly safe as long as you recognize the fireball relatively quickly, of course. And that also might be doable with the colossal great sword here. I'm not sure, but definitely a running R2 is safe, which is what you'll see me doing shortly. I think at a couple other points you'll also see me doing like a running R1 plus another R1. That seemed safe if you recognize the fireball really early, but that's probably pretty tight, so I'll leave that up to you if you want to actually use that. Anyway, yeah, just double swipe into fireball, into running R2. And then again, after every punish, okay, I guess one thing I should explain here is block canceling. So you see I'm in recovery from my previous attack. And in order to like shorten that a bit, to like let me move sooner, I'll press the right mouse button to let me block, and this is what we call block canceling. It cancels the attack recovery animation sooner than just like walking alone. To let you like move and strafe sooner. It's only really applicable if you want to like strafe the next thing the boss does. But I guess also keep in mind that if you're like power stancing a couple weapons, or if you don't have like, or if you're not two-handing your weapon, or if you don't have like a shield in your other hand, then you won't be able to block. But if you're able to block and you have like a slow weapon and you want to like move or walk or sprint before doing anything else, then block canceling is a good strat. So yeah, you'll see me like block cancel to get around the side of him. Again, I like to go counterclockwise. Although going either direction kind of works, but if you're going counterclockwise already, it's easier to strafe his poke, which I think is what he does next. No, he just does like a slow double swipe here. So yeah, you'll see me like run or like walk around the side of him and strafe this like slow double swipe he does. And this one I just punish with a single R1. If you have like a faster weapon, you can do 2 R1s or something along those lines. But yeah, with this slow weapon, we can only do just 1 R1. At least I haven't like maximally tested the like 100% most optimal punish windows for all these. I just do whatever feels comfy, right? But in any case, yeah, just after every punish, you want to get in the habit of like pre-strafing, because what is it? This like fast double swipe he does here. He can do that like when you're up close to him, and it's really, really hard to react to. And even if you did like react roll it, in a lot of cases you'll get roll caught, because it's not like impossible to roll, but it's like very, very tricky to roll, and it can roll catch you like very easily. Just let this play out again. Yeah, get around him, and then yeah, when he does this like slow double swipe, just do a running, or not a running, just a normal R1. And then here, yeah, here's where he does the poke, and you see me doing another block cancel to end the attack recovery animation sooner. And yeah, you can see that if you go around counterclockwise, the poke just misses you. And if you go around the right side, I think it's still possible to strafe it. Although if you're just walking, it might be really precise, or it might require some sprinting or just like walking really early. Because like anyway, yeah, if you like kind of use his body, because like his you can see like from this perspective, the peeler's on the left and like his body's on the right, so you kind of like go across his body to strafe the poke. But if you like went around the other side, then like his body wouldn't be there to block anything, or yeah. So that's like that is also doable to go around clockwise. It just might require some like sprinting or walking really early, or it's just like more precise. But anyway, like walk strafing the poke going this direction is really quite lenient. And you, at least with like mid roll for sure, and probably with light roll as well, if you're like really close to him, you really want to strafe the first poke, because it has a few different possible follow-ups. If he does like he can do the fast double swipe right after the single poke, and if he does that, and you're at like mid roll, you might not be able to outspace it if you started really close. If you have like a fair bit of distance beforehand, even at mid roll, you can just roll away twice to outspace whatever he does. But if you're not able to outspace, then definitely strafe the first one, and then like keep strafing and like react to whatever he does afterwards. I think in this case, yeah, he just did the slow poke follow-up, and that one I just punished with a single R1. If you have a faster weapon, just doing 2 R1s is fine, or you can experiment with even like bigger punishes. But yeah, I think with the S stock I just do 2 R1s. And then here you see him doing what I guess I'll call the hook attack. My personal strat with this is to just roll into the first part of the hook attack and then get behind and then do a punish. With the greatsword here, it'll be just a single R1. With the S stock, it's like 2 R1s. If you have like a small greatsword, or like, you know, a non-colossal greatsword, you can just do like a tap R2. That's also safe. Just something like that. You can also outspace this hook attack and then like sprint at him to strafe whatever follow-up he does next, and then punish afterwards. You can also like outspace it further away. Like if you outspace it far enough away, he won't do any follow-ups, and he'll like cancel a combo. So you can also do that and do either like a jumping attack back into him, or perhaps a running attack. I've seen Ali do that, I think, where like they outspace the hook attack, and they outspace it so far that Apostle doesn't have any follow-ups. Because if you outspace it but you're still like kind of close, or like you're on the edge, Apostle will follow it up, and you'll have to like strafe or respond to that. But anyway, I like to keep it like simpler and just roll into the first hook and then get behind, because if you're behind him, then he also won't have any follow-ups, and he'll cancel the combo. Yeah, here we just see me doing a single R1. And then yeah, here you see him do the fast double swipe up close, and you see that I'm at his side here, like either this side or the other side. Like either side is fine and strafable. You just mainly don't want to be right in front of him. So you see me like I'm already like before I could possibly read or like know what's gonna happen, I'm like already holding forward to like try to get further around, because the double swipe is really fast and it's super hard to react to. So the general idea is to like pre-strafe it. So like basically go towards where you would need to be to strafe it beforehand, like before you even know that it's going to happen. Like you want to be in the position to strafe it already. So you can see me like holding forward and then doing a little block cancel. Like you see me blocking here to to end the attack recovery animation faster. And like you see, I strafe the first one. Like strafing the first one is really easy, generally. And then I roll the second one, because you can see that the second one, it comes down a lot lower than the first one. Let's see if I can get the first one again. Like the first one, it goes really high. Like you can see how high this is. Like it's really easy to strafe. And then the second swipe goes a lot lower. You can also strafe it if you get behind him. Like if I was already behind him here, I would be strafing this just fine. But since I like to keep the fight a bit more comfy, I'll basically always roll the second swipe, just so I don't have to think about positioning as much. That makes my punish opportunities a little bit worse, but I'm okay with that for the sake of comfort. And after rolling the second of the two swipes there, with like an S stock, I'll do like a rolling R1, just to keep up poise and all that, and also like it is like a punish in and of itself besides just the poise thing. But with the greatsword, I don't punish. I just let him be. With like a lot of these things, you might be able to get off like a rolling R1 if you have the positioning really if you've done the positioning well. But I haven't like tested that a lot, and I think just for the sake of comfort, it's worth it to not punish and just wait for a better opportunity. Okay, let's rewind here. So there's the double swipe. And then there, he's doing the basic jump attack up close. And if you're up close already, it's really easy to just strafe it. You can just like walk behind him like that, and then you see me there doing just a like a tap R1, or just like a normal R1. I think if you recognize it quickly, you can probably do a tap R2 even with the Colossal Greatsword. Because with the S stock, you can do like a charge R2 every time he does the jump attack up close, and you strafe it like that. But in any case, just like a tap R, like a normal R1 is very comfy. Then there we get a stagger, and then we just take the riposte. And then again, like we treat the riposte kind of like any other punish, like. As in, like, after the punish, you want to get to his side again to, like, pre-strafe whatever he does next. And then here he does the poke. And then there he does the double poke follow-up. With the greatsword, I punish this the same way, and I guess with, like, the S-stock as well. Like, I punish the slow poke follow-up and then the double poke follow-up. I punish both of those with just, like, an R1 with the greatsword, or with, like, two R1s with the S-stock. So anyway, you're behind him there, and that's a punish opportunity. Oh yeah, and then there you see him do the double swipe again, and you can see that I'm already behind him, and like I'm block canceling, I'm walking forward, left, trying to like always go counterclockwise to him when I'm up close, and you see that I strafe it just fine, since the first swipe goes really high, and then I roll the second swipe since it goes lower. Again, if you have really good positioning, you can roll, or you can strafe both swipes, but yeah, just for the sake of comfort, I roll the second one. I think I already mentioned with the faster weapon, I'll do like a rolling R1 on the after I roll the second of the fast double swipe. But yeah, with the greatsword, I just let him be. And yeah, you can see there, like he kind of hopped away and like made a little bit of space. If you really know what you're doing, again, you can like chase after him, but just the way I like to do it, I let him have the space that he's created and just wait for another opportunity. And here's something I need to explain well, I think. Like he did a side hop there, and you can see that I'm waiting. You can see here that I'm waiting at the proper range where he would do a melee attack if he wanted to, but I notice after maybe a second or so that he's not doing anything. He's just standing there. He's just idling. And if you notice the same thing, like okay, if he does some action like hopping away or like whatever, and then he just kind of stands there like side walking. That means that he's idling, and if you read that he's doing that for like a second, it means that he's idling, and he's not going to do anything for the next like couple seconds. So that gives you some time if you want to like run up to him. If you want to just wait out the idle, you can. Like that's, of course that's safe to just like maintain distance and like wait for him to do something definite. But if you recognize that he's idling, and you want to like run up to him to like close the distance and like start doing up close punishes again, you can. And this is my strategy. And this is really good to do because what is it? If you let him idle and like not do anything for like the whole duration, he'll definitely like recover poise. So if you're going for staggers, then you won't be getting those staggers. But if you recognize that he's idling, and then at least what I like to do is like sprint up to him, you'll usually be able to strafe whatever he's doing and then punish it. But you'll see a lot of examples of that coming. So we'll get there when we get there. Okay, so yeah, you see that he idled for a few seconds, and that gave me enough time to sprint up to him. And then his next attack was like, we call this the windmill attack. And the way I like to handle it, this does take some practice to get used to, and I'm not like 100% consistent at it. It's still kind of tricky to me, but you can either locked on or you can do this locked on or locked off. I prefer it locked on because it just makes the setup like the same, or like more or less the same each time. But if you're good at practicing like unlocked, you can also do that. You can also do this unlocked. You just like stay behind him. You want to like strafe for a while. I think sometimes you'll see me punish this with a tap R2. That's if I feel really good about the positioning and I want to punish it early. But if I'm not feeling great about the positioning, then I'll like wait longer and then just do a tap R1. At least with the greatsword. With the S-stock, I would usually do like 2 R1s, and if I punished it really early, then I would do 3 R1s or thereabouts. But yeah, you see me there. I guess we'll play it. We'll play it in real time just so you can see what it looks like. Oh yeah, I guess that could also take this time to mention that like I'm used to playing on controller where we use like the movement stick to do a lot of the things we need to do, whereas like I guess like a native or like natural keyboard player might use the camera more than the movement sticks. You'll see me like, if you pay attention to like the movement keys there, like I'm using the movement keys to like circle around Apostle, whereas like somebody who's like more acquainted with keyboard and mouse might just use the camera to move around him and like circle around him instead of the movement keys. Because yeah, you saw me like go all the way around with the movement keys to circle strafe this move there. So there's the punish, and then here he does the, again, just like after every punish, just keep going either counterclockwise or clockwise, depending on how you're feeling. In phase 1, I would strongly encourage everybody to go counterclockwise, just because it strafes this poke, like it strafes this poke so easily, and you don't have to worry about it. And then there he does the double poke again, and we do the same punish. Okay, here. This is the slow double swipe from range. I think earlier you saw me like deal with the slow double swipe, but I was close and I strafed it. Whereas here he does it from further away, and I just outspace it. With a slow weapon like this, you just want to outspace it, and then you can use the recovery time from the slow double swipe to just like close the distance and get right up next to him again. If you have a fast weapon, you can punish that with like a jumping R1 or possibly like a running R2. Depending on what you think is better. Let's see. I guess something I should mention. You want to like strafe it a bit far away. Like you see the slow double swipe. There's a fair amount of distance between me and Apostle right now, and that is so that Apostle won't do a follow up to this slow double swipe. Because if you like roll into the second of the slow double swipe, or just in general, if you're closer to him after the end of the slow double swipe, or like a lot of his different combos, he'll like keep the combo going. And if he keeps the combo going, then he's still attacking, and you know, since he's still attacking, there's less opportunity for you to punish him. So in general, at least the way I do it, like you want to outspace far enough away where he doesn't do any follow-ups. Like he does the single move and then he just cancels the combo, and then you can like either punish or approach him, or you know, handle it however you feel like, or practice, or whatever. In this case, we outspace to cancel the combo, and then we just approach him. With like the S-stock, I would do a jumping R1 here just to get like another punish. But anyway, yeah, you see, we just have barely enough time to sprint at him, and then strafe whatever he does next. In this case, it's like another slow double swipe. And again, we've dealt with this move up close before, so I won't explain it again. And there he does like a hop away, and then again, like I don't sprint right up against him. I wait at a distance to outspace whatever he does, and I read that he's doing the hook attack, and I go in and I punish it like that, and then here again we circle around, strafing the poke. I think he does the double poke follow up, but he gets staggered in the middle of it. What is it? One thing I should mention is if you strafe behind him during the first poke, and if you're like behind him like really early, like even faster than this, I think with the right positioning at the right time, it's guaranteed that Apostle won't follow up the single poke. But that can be really tricky to judge. If you practice him a lot, you'll get like a feeling for when he's not gonna do a follow-up. But if you're worried about him doing a follow-up, or about you not being able to tell if he's going to do a follow-up, then just like waiting and reading like what follow-up he's going to do is a good idea. But anyway, yeah, we read that he's doing the double poke there, and we just punish. We get another riposte. Okay, and I think he's going into phase 2 now. I have like a couple other phase 1 kills I'll go over, because I don't think we saw like every RNG in this kill, so we'll get to those other phase 1 kills later. So yeah, since I know that he's going to transition, because like his health threshold is pretty low there, we just do a charge R2. And then here, you can also just like outspace the transition explosion if you want. You know, it's definitely comfier. You don't have to time it at all. But this, what is it? It can take like a bit of time to learn how to roll this, just because like the explosion is so delayed. But yeah, if you practice it, you can learn to roll this. It's just a very, very late roll. There, we just do like a rolling R1. If you have a fast weapon, you could probably do like 2 R1s there. And then here, there are like a few different ways to handle this this phase 2 move. I don't know what we'll call this one. I guess we'll call it like the twirl or something. I don't know, the spaghetti twirl. I don't know. Anyway, like if you stand in front of him and you jump, like the hitbox there will miss you. So like doing a jumping R2 here is safe with like basically any weapon. You can also like walk behind him, and if you're positioned behind him, it's behind him and to his right. So that would be like here. If you wanted to strafe this attack, you can like either walk behind him or in front of him also is fine. But you want to get like behind and to his right. So yeah, like right there. You can also do a bunch of punishes that way. I think with the S-stock, I do 3 R1s. It might be, no, I think it is 3 R1s, just because it takes a while for me to get in that positioning. But that could also just be like a charge R2 with most weapons. I think when I used to do that with the ultra great sword here, I think I just did a tap R1. But I think if you position it well, like a tap R2 would work. But anyway, yeah, the way we're handling it today is just like with a jumping R2. Or we did a jumping R1 there. I think that was mostly just by accident, since I'm not 100% used to keyboard and mouse. I did a light attack instead of a heavy attack. But anyway, like either one is safe, especially if you block cancel. And then in phase 2, I usually will strafe clockwise instead of counterclockwise, and you'll see why, possibly. Okay, yeah. So he has, in phase 2, he has like a triple spin attack that you'll see a bunch later. And that attack is way easier to strafe if you go around clockwise. Or wait. Oh no. I've been mixing up counterclockwise and clockwise this whole time, sorry. This way, going around the right side, is counterclockwise. Sorry about that. Gosh, and I was ripping on Munfler earlier for confusing the two, but I was the one who was being confused. Anyway, so in phase 2, you want to go around counterclockwise or like to the right because of the triple spin, and the triple spin is a lot easier to strafe going around counterclockwise. But in this case, he does the poke. So like you can see that like I'm still walking forward right, but he's doing the poke here, and like I said, it's easier to strafe the poke going left. Okay. So like the sort of maneuver here is that you wanna like curve around him. So if you're going counterclockwise, you at first you'll be going forward right, and then you'll be going forward, and then you'll be going forward left, like as if you're making a circle around him. Okay. So if you do that normally, you would be going around him. But when he does the poke, he does like, okay, so like pay attention here. He's standing like here. But as he does the poke, you can see that he backs up a lot. Like you can see that he's changed his position significantly. Like he backs up like maybe like half a meter or something here. So as you're like going forward right, you're not going past him, since he backs up. Like you can't get past him because he backed up to prevent that. So like as soon as you should be going like kind of circling around and so like transitioning from forward right to forward left. You should be doing that anyway to get to like circle around him, but especially if you notice that he's doing the poke and not the triple spin, then you want to switch to going forward left as soon as you recognize it. And you can recognize it I guess like fairly late here, and you'll still be able to strafe it since it's pretty generous with the hitbox and the way everything works. So yeah, this maneuver is very important to master, because like react rolling the triple spin is like extremely difficult in my opinion, or at least like doing it up close and like managing that all the time, like that's really difficult. So you wanna strafe the triple spin up close if you can, if that's at all possible. So again, you want to be going counterclockwise around him, just in case he does the triple spin. But if he doesn't do the triple spin and he does the poke, like you should be trying to circle around him anyway. So transitioning from forward right to forward left. But if he does the poke, then like as soon as you notice that, definitely transition to either like forward left or just like hard left, and then like strafe it this way. So that can be tricky, but that like movement will eventually become pretty easy. So there he did like the slow poke follow up, and that one we just punish with an R1. With the S stock, that would be 2 R1s, basically. Then here, take the riposte. And then just like in phase 1, we're gonna like treat that punish like any other punish. So anyway, after that punish, we're gonna like go counterclockwise around him. Just in case he does the triple spin. Does he do the triple spin here? No, he doesn't. He does the like the windmill attack. So the windmill attack, like strafing it left or right or counterclockwise or clockwise, it doesn't really matter either way. For a lot of his attacks, it doesn't matter which way you strafe them. So here we'll just do the same thing, just kind of get around him. And then yeah, I didn't feel like amazing about that, so we just did like a single R1. And then here, yeah, you can see here that what is it? Yeah, like I guess like one exception to the like I said earlier that you want to be going counterclockwise in phase 2 for the most part. One exception to that is if you're already behind him, like you can see sort of like here that I'm already behind him, right? And if you know that you're behind him already, you want to go clockwise and not counterclockwise. So like just go to the left, because as far as I can tell, if you're behind him, he can't do the triple spin attack, so that like problematic attack is not it's not going to happen. So you want to go forward left immediately, or clockwise. So you can see there, like I'm behind him, he can't do the triple spin as far as I can tell. And yeah, like I mentioned before, if you're behind him really early on for the single poke there, like he won't do a follow-up. Like this one was pretty easy to predict, since like I'm so far behind him like so early in the poke attack that I basically knew that he wasn't going to follow up. But that can be like a good thing and a bad thing, because if he's not doing a follow-up, that means that he's going to do a different attack more quickly, right? So like here, I don't know if this R1 was actually safe. Like with a like I think with the S-Stock, I would still do 2 R1s here, because that's like still pretty fast. But even like a single R1 with the greatsword here, like I don't know, like I'm not 100% sure this was safe. So like if you want to be really, really safe with the greatsword, and you see that he doesn't do a follow-up to the poke, it might be better to just not punish it and just like let him do whatever he wants to do next. Although I don't know, it might still be safe. I'm not really sure. Definitely, like, okay, so like if you predict, like in this case, I basically predicted that he would not here. Like you can see that like I tap the R1 button like way before I read whatever like follow-up he's doing. Like I didn't know what follow-up he was gonna do, except like I knew he wasn't gonna do any follow-up. So I just pressed it immediately. And in this case, it might be safe if you predict that he's not doing any follow-up. But if you have to read that he's not doing any follow-up and then like react R1, then with the greatsword it's definitely not safe. With the S-Stock, you can definitely do like a single R1 if you notice that he's not doing a follow-up. Just because it's faster. Anyway, there's that. Okay, in phase 2 for his jump attacks, how do I handle this? Yeah, if you have to like, yeah, okay, let me collect myself here. In phase 2, his jump attacks have follow-ups. Like you saw in phase 1 that like his jump attack didn't have any follow-ups. You can kind of punish it or handle it however you wish. But in phase 2, his jump attacks do have follow-ups. So you'll see here that I have to roll it there, and since I had to roll it, I didn't punish it. I guess yeah, I should like explain how to handle this attack in more detail. So if he does the jump attack when you have some distance from him already, such that you don't end up behind him after the jump attack, then you shouldn't punish, because some of the follow-ups to the jump attack can be very fast. Like you won't be able to punish before they come out. So here, I think since I ended up behind him after the jump attack. I think I could have done a rolling R1 here and been just fine. Since, like, when you're behind him, like, he doesn't have any fast follow-ups. Like, the fast follow-ups are only if you're, like, right in front of him. Or I think, like, if you're forward left from his perspective, I think he has fast follow-ups there. I think if you roll and you end up, like, forward and to the right of him, so, like, forward left from your perspective, I think he doesn't have, like, any fast follow-ups. But in general, if I end up, like, in front of him after, I tend not to chance that, like, just me reading, like, which side of him I'm on. So I tend to just not punish if I'm in front of him. But if I'm behind him like this, then I think a rolling R1 is definitely fine. He has, like, a slow follow-up there. This one, if you recognize it early, or if you're, like, already sprinting, you could either, like, strafe it to the left or to the right here. But just for me, I just roll it. And if you roll it and you have, like, a fast weapon, you can do, like, a rolling R1. But with the greatsword here, I don't punish it at all, just because I think it's not safe. Again, I keep saying, like, for some of these, like, a rolling R1 with the greatsword might be okay if you, like, handle the positioning really well, but yeah, just for now, I'm just not going to punish it. There, he does the tornado attack. And here, yeah, this attack, this is, like, a huge punish opportunity in phase 2. At least, there are a few different ways to handle it. You can, like, one option is to, like, as soon as you see it, just, like, keep walking towards him and, like, just punish his, like, legs back here. And then either, like, roll or maybe, like, outspace the attacks he does. The attacks he does afterwards. But anyway, the way I like to handle it is, yeah, as soon as I see that he's doing it, I walk backwards and, like, get in, like, sort of this positioning. And then I do like either a charge R2, like with this weapon here. Like you see, I do a charge R2 here. And I think a follow-up R1 might be safe. But I opted not to go for it since it seemed really tight. But yeah, anyway, with the greatsword, I just do like if you outspace it like this, a charge R2 is fine. You could also do like a tap R2 and then a follow-up R1. Like, I think that would be a little bit more damage, and I think that would also be, I think that would definitely be safe, like a tap R2 and then an R1. But I opted to just go for the charge R2. And when I do this with the S stock, you watch like my S stock kill video of the Apostle, I do like 5 R1s here. So I think I do like 3 R1s during this initial part here where his head is like in sort of this location. And then like you see he kind of gets behind me here for the, the second part of this attack. And with the S stock, since I'm doing like 5 R1s, like I do the first 3 R1s just straight ahead, and then I like turn around for the last 2 R1s. And because you can see that he gets behind me at this point there. And yeah, you can see that like here, this will take some practice to get down like really well, but it's very possible if you're right up close to him. Like he has that like follow-up like swing that goes like all the way around him, but if you're close to him, it'll miss you. But you'll have to like practice that and like you get a feeling for it, because it's not like 100% free to strafe it, but it is quite easy. So let's just see that one time without me like talking or like pausing it all over the place. And yeah, again here you see I go around counterclockwise, then he does the getaway attack, which I just roll. Then here he does this attack, and I think I explained how to punish this or how to deal with it a few different ways. And in this kill we'll just be doing a jumping R2, and there's the jump R2. Then I block cancel and go around counterclockwise. Okay, yeah, there is the triple spin. That's what we've been waiting for. So you can see that he goes around, he starts from his right side. And you can see, like, if I was trying to walk clockwise around him, I would have to like cover a lot more distance to like strafe this attack. And like it comes out very, very quickly, so like trying to roll, like react roll it is really tough for me. I'm gonna sneeze. So yeah, like react rolling to that is really hard. So like I don't know, my advice is to try to strafe it all the time. So yeah, just like going around counterclockwise is a lot easier. And you see that like I went like way far around him here, and I was still safe. Because like I'm here, but I could easily just like be like over here. Like I went really far around him, which wasn't like entirely necessary, but it's still fine, right? Oh yeah, and then since I'm like all the way over on this side, I end up being in a weird position to like try to punish this attack. Yeah, because he like goes like way far away like that. And then if I'm in this position, I'll just like roll into the final part of it. If I have a fast weapon, I'll do like a rolling R1 here. But with the greatsword, I'll just opt not to do any punish. So let's see that here in real time. And then here, I guess I'm like trying to be behind him so that he doesn't do the triple spin again. Because it is possible for him to do 2 triple spins in a row. But I think since I'm like basically behind him here, he's not going to do it again. So that's what I was banking on. You could also like if you rolled like instead of rolling here, if I rolled like here, then I would of course go counterclockwise to like strafe it in case he did it twice in a row. Yeah, there he does the single poke, and since I'm so far behind him so early, he doesn't have any follow up to the poke. So there I did an R1, but I kind of like pointed it away from him. You see there? It's because I'm not really fully confident in punishing the single poke when he doesn't follow up. I just knew he wasn't gonna follow up, so I punished it there. Then here he's doing this attack again, which I just do. I do the charge R2, but I guess I'm slightly too far away, which is just like a distancing issue. Like if you're at the proper distance, this punish always works. But yeah, there I'm a little bit too far away, and also he's kind of at an elevated position. You see his feet way up in the air. And yeah, anyway, so we didn't get any punish there, which is unfortunate. Okay, yeah. So again, since I'm behind him, he can't do the triple spin. So we just go clockwise around him, and he does the double spin instead. What is it? If I had better control, I would just like roll into him instead of rolling away from him here, but I think the only reason I rolled away from him was just because I'm not as good at keyboard and mouse. There's that. Another jumping R2. Yeah, and then here. Again, like this attack is really, really easy to strafe if you go around counterclockwise. So like you see, like it really is easy to strafe this way. And then since I'm on this side of him, and I didn't like end up on the other side like the previous time we got this attack, I'm able to like kind of sprint strafe this way, and you can see that the attack kind of like goes over my head here. You'll have to like practice this for a while, because like if you're, I don't know, strafing this one fully is a bit dependent on your positioning. As you can see, kind of like here, the hitbox is kind of low and only ends up like really high over here again. So you'll have to like practice this. If you want, you could just roll the third. You could just roll the third spin of the triple spin every time if you want. But with the greatsword, I opted to go for like the running R1s here, since if I rolled it, I wouldn't be comfortable punishing it. But since I want to punish it, I'm gonna try to like sprint strafe it here. And yeah, you can see I do the running R1 to punish that since I strafed it. So yeah, let's see that in real time. There, something like that. And there again, like you see me, like I don't know what he's going to do next, but you can see me going around counterclockwise, like forward left here, just in case he does the triple spin right after this. Like I'm all or whatever he does next. Like I'm pre-strafing to be in a position to be safe, no matter what he does. He does the tornado attack, so everything's fine regardless, but just, you know, if he was gonna do like a melee attack that I needed to strafe, like I would have been prepared already. And then there, like, this is kind of an awkward range to punish the fireball. Like I'm pretty far away here, so like depending on your particular weapon and its like running attack animation or you know, things like that, you'll want to like experiment and like get used to like what the limits are for strafing the fireball, because like strafing under the fireball and getting a punish that way is like a very important thing to do, so you'll have to like get really used to that. If you have like a faster weapon and you just want to like roll into him every time, especially in like sort of kind of iffy situations like this, like that's also fine, but it is a good skill to know how to like strafe underneath the fireball really well. So there's the running R2. You can see me going around counterclockwise. And then yeah, you see, I noticed that he's doing the getaway attack, so I just react roll it. Oh yeah, here, for the, I guess like we'll call it the spaghetti windmill attack or something. With the greatsword, I just do like a tap R2 to punish it. Oh no, I guess I just did a tap R1 in this case. But a tap R2 is also safe. Or 4 R1s with the S-stock is also safe if you roll into the spaghetti windmill. What is it? It is possible to strafe this attack if you're like already sprinting at him and you're like close. You can kind of like run around the initial hitbox and like already be behind him when he starts. And if you do that, you can get an even bigger punish window, but that's, you know, that's like more precise and, you know, being more aggressive, which I'm not quite as comfortable with, so I opt to just like always roll through the spaghetti windmill. And here we just do an R1, but a tap R2 would have been safe. And then there, yeah, you see that like he does the slow double swipe, which, you know, in phase 1 we strafed it going clockwise, but here we're going counterclockwise, and you basically strafe it the exact same way. Like that's what I've been like saying, that in a lot of cases it doesn't matter whether you strafe him clockwise or counterclockwise. It's just like a couple problematic moves that like force you to go one way or the other. So let's like see that in real time, the slow double swipe. And I think I already mentioned before, or maybe I didn't mention this, that you need to be like sort of behind him, or at least like far enough off to the side here that he doesn't do a follow-up to like either the slow double swipe or whatever other swipe he does. Because if you're in front of him after the slow double swipe, then he'll do a follow-up, which is, you know, not good, because then if you're in the middle of doing a punish, then you'll probably get hit. Okay, so I guess I could explain this a bit more. Since he's like kind of near the wall, and I want to like get him away from the wall, I like roll away from the jump attack instead of rolling into it. And in case he did like a fast follow-up here, it might have been okay since I already have like a fair amount of distance here, but just to be safe, I do a second roll away and just kind of wait for whatever he does next. I could have approached him after that, but I guess I opted to just keep my distance here, since I'm almost done with this kill. Here again, charge R2. And then I do the follow-up R2 since I know that he's going to die. I think normally that wouldn't be safe, but since I know he's going to die, I do the follow-up R2 there and kill him. Okay, so that's like the basic idea of how to kill the Godskin Apostle. Straight up. I'm gonna sneeze again. Oh, and I guess I should mention, I put on the charge attack talisman and the jump attack talisman just to make phase 2 a bit faster, since like most of the issues come from phase 1, since like phase 1 there aren't as many like easy easy moves to punish. Like a lot of the phase 2 moves are like very, very easy to punish and like make space afterwards and like not deal with him up close. But when you're fighting phase 1, like basically the only way to fight him efficiently is to be up close a lot of the time. So yeah, this was mainly to like explain phase 1. So just to make phase 2 faster, I had the charge attack and the jump attack talisman there. And yeah, you can see I like this is a +0. This is a +0 grade sword, but I had 99 strength there to speed up the fight a bit. Anyway, let's move on to another kill. Let me close this down. Okay, looks like we're capturing the new thing. Okay, so this is going to be like mostly the same, except I think in this kill there should be some different RNGs that we'll see that I might need to explain. Yeah, most of this will be largely the same. Yeah, again, since I'm so far behind him, he doesn't do a follow-up, and I immediately punish, which is probably safe, but I still feel a bit squeamish about. There, just go behind him, do an R1 punish. Here, like, I probably would have been able, I might have been able to like strafe this since I got fairly far behind him already, but I don't know. The roll was still probably necessary here. There, yeah. Like you can see here that I opted to go for the rolling R1 after the jump attack. Because like I'm already behind him, so like I'm already in a position to strafe whatever he does next. So like that's what I mean by if you have the positioning down really well, then the rolling R1 might be safe even with the colossal sword here. But if you're like in front of him after rolling the jump attack, then definitely don't punish with the great sword. Oh yeah, here is like the single swipe, which I don't think we ever saw the single swipe in the last kill. So like the single swipe you handle basically the same as the double swipe. At least with the great sword, you just like use that opportunity to like, you know, okay, let's go through the whole thing first. He does the single swipe, and we maintain a distance away from him so that he doesn't do any follow-ups. Because again, if we're closer to him, he'll do follow-ups. But if we're you know around this distance or greater, then he won't do any follow-ups. So yeah, anyway, since we have a slow weapon, we just run to get close to him on his side. If we had a fast weapon, you can either do like a jumping R1 or like a running R1 or maybe like even a running R2 to punish the single swipe if you outspace it and then close the gap afterwards. So here, if you know what you're doing and you like sprint or maybe just position yourself really well, you can strafe this attack. I think you can strafe it left or right. I haven't had really any experience strafing this attack, but I know it's possible. Like especially if you're sprinting, this attack is definitely strafable. But I tend to just roll it since I'm okay having the fight be just a bit easier, but I guess a bit less optimal as well. There's the double swipe, outspace, go back in. Here, we just do the windmill. Yeah, and then here, I guess one thing I should mention is that it's not like guaranteed, but especially if you're although okay, let me think about this. If you have this amount of distance on him already and he does like a side hop, I think it's guaranteed that he does a fireball afterwards. You've seen before that if you're relatively close to him and he does a side hop, then the fireball is certainly not guaranteed. But if you're like this far away or so and he does a side hop, it's basically guaranteed that he's going to do a fireball. But I guess I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm pretty sure about that. So like I'm sprinting straight at him since by the time he does the side hop, like I know he's going to follow up with the fireball. And since I like knew so early that he was going to do the fireball, like you see me here, like I'm already inputting the running R2. I do the running R2 and a follow-up R1, which is like a huge punish. So yeah, if you're in this situation and you like really know that he's gonna do it, then you can get off like a huge punish. Like on the S stock, this would probably be like a charge R2 plus an R1, or maybe like a running R1 plus a charge R2, like some big punish like that, right? And then again, like block cancel, get around counterclockwise this way, roll a getaway attack, and again just maintain some distance to outspace whatever he does, and then go back in when you have a safe approach. Here, this attack is like, this follow-up to the single poke is quite fast and has a relatively short recovery. So this, like, what is it? That R1 might not have been safe. I haven't like tested this exhaustively, so I'm not really sure. I think with the S stock, 2 R2s would probably still be okay here. So maybe this R1 is actually okay. But yeah, this attack is like faster than the others, so it doesn't have quite as much of a punish window. But it might not make a big difference. The big picture of things. Oh yeah, this attack. I don't know if we saw this attack at all in the previous kill. So like, yeah, what is it? If this attack here, we'll call it like the double hit into jump. There it is there. If you fight him exactly how I've like described how to fight him, where every time he makes space, you like read what he does and like wait for a safe approach, he should never do this attack when you're like really up close to him. If you like misread an idle where he's like not where you thought he was idling but he's not actually idling, then he might do it up close, since like something has sort of gone wrong there. But in general, you shouldn't see this at point blank range if you fight him exactly how I described him. But if exactly how I described how to fight him. But if you like chase after him every time he like does a side hop or makes distance, then he can do this attack up close. This attack is still strafable, like when you're at point blank range, but it's really precise, and I think you can also iframe it, but that's also like a precise roll. So in general, like the way I deal with this attack is like as soon as I see that he's doing it, I start sprinting away to outspace the first 2 hits, and then after those first 2 hits, then I like run underneath him to get off a big punish. And you can see there that I think I do a tap R2, which is one of the larger punish windows for this weapon. What is it? With the S stock, I would like run underneath him and then probably like right around here, which is right around the same time as in this kill. I would do like you can even do a charge R2 plus an R1 with the S stock. So this is like one of the bigger punish windows in phase 1. Since like you can read that he's like doing the double hit, and then like since you know the jump attack is coming, you can like run underneath him and like start doing a charge, like you start doing an attack really early, right? Okay, here, I don't know if this happened like a couple times maybe, but not that much in the first kill. Like I'm reading, like like you see that he does a side, like he hops away, and I see that like he's not doing anything. Like I'm at like the proper range for him to do something, but he's not doing anything. So like after like a second or maybe like a second and a half of this, I can see that he's not gonna do anything. Like he's just idling. So then I like sprint up to him and strafe whatever he's doing. So let's see that in real time. Sprint around him. He does slow double swipe, punish, close range jump attack, get a stagger. Paused. Here, wait on this side, in case he does the double swipe there. So like, yeah, you're pre-strafing everything, so like if he does that, you're already in a position to strafe it. There, again, like, it's so, at least in this case, it's like so obvious, because like I'm behind him so early on, like he's definitely not going to do a follow-up, so I just punish immediately. Although I still don't feel great about it since he like hops away so often like that. Here. Hook attack, punish. And here I'm like, I don't like the camera, I don't like how close to the wall I am, so I just kind of bail out a bit. Reposition and sort of like get my bearings again. Outspace the double swipe, follow-up, fireball is common. Transition. And yeah, you can see like you can do the jump attack like right in front of him and everything's fine. Okay, and I think I knew he was gonna stagger, or maybe this was just lucky, so I did like a follow-up attack. Normally I wouldn't do this. But yeah, since I knew he was gonna stagger, then we just did that real quick. Then here, get around clockwise, or no, counterclockwise. Strafe the triple slam, or triple spin rather. Roll that because I don't like strafing it. Okay, yeah, and here here you can see that you definitely can strafe the poke going around counterclockwise. You just have to be like walking pretty early and like basically already be behind him by the time it comes out, which is a lot easier to do if you like sprint, but I generally don't like sprinting, especially when I'm on keyboard and I'm not like great at managing the sprinting and everything super well. But yeah, you can strafe it going counterclockwise. It's just not as nice in my opinion. Again, outspace. I got a hockey stop there, so I rolled. I think, yeah, but even if you roll, I think I do like a, yeah, that's like a tap R2 there, which is fine. I probably could have done a follow-up R1, but maybe not, I'm not super sure. There's the windmill, and then, yeah, here you can see me do the, you can see me do the tap R2. And yeah, you can see that you have plenty of time to start strafing beforehand, and I think even here he does the triple spin, right? Yeah, so there, strafing the triple spin. I didn't like sprint after him or like maintain my position, so I just like roll into the final spin to be safe. This rolling R1, it might be safe. I'm not going to guarantee it, especially with a weapon this slow. If you have like a fast weapon, like for sure go for the rolling R1, but yeah, with a weapon this slow, I'm not 100% sure that this is safe. Tornado. Here. Charge R2. And yeah, like if you don't have to do everything like exactly like I do it. Like here, I kind of switched it up. Like you can stay close and strafe after that, but like for whatever reason, I opted to just like start walking away from him. And if you have like enough of a window to make a bit of distance before he does his next attack, then like walking away is fine to do. But just be careful and like make sure you actually have like a window to make distance before he does his next attack. Here I'm just kind of like waiting for him to do an easy attack. Triple spin. And yeah, here you can see that I maintain position a bit better. Although this was kind of close looking at it after the fact. This was pretty close, but I guess it still worked, so that's fine. But yeah, you'll have to practice that and find out what you're comfortable with doing. There, use that opportunity to close the distance. Get around that. Tap R1. Tap R2. Basically the same thing. Oh gee, yeah, and then this was my mistake. Like this is, Ah, gosh, dude, I made this mistake a few different times, and like this is one of like the bigger mistakes. Like if you're trying to rotate around counterclockwise, and then he does the he does the fast double spin. Like I'm pretty sure, this. I don't know. It might be a good idea in situations like these to like block. Did I block cancel? I did block cancel. Okay, so like it might be a good idea in situations like these where I guess the punish might be kind of borderline. I'm not super sure, to like block cancel and then sprint just for like a moment, just sprint for a moment to get further around him, because like you can see that I'm basically right directly in front of him at the beginning of this. If I kept going forward right, I might have been able to save this, but yeah, this I probably should have just like sprinted a little bit to get further around him beforehand, because like, yeah, because I'm pretty sure the tap R2 on the spaghetti windmill is safe, but yeah, something was sort of mismanaged here. Because yeah, like because you can see I'm like basically directly in front of him, and I try to like roll away from this, but like especially at mid roll, like you're like I got caught here, and like it's all over. And, like, you know, of course, like I'm already hit, right? At light roll, you can probably get away with this a bit easier, or I mean, you definitely can get away with it a bit easier. But yeah, there you go. Like that's like a prime mistake. Okay, let's move on to the. I think we'll do only like one more kill, because apparently this has been going on for already like over an hour of explaining how to fight Godskin Apostle. Okay, let's do this final one. We might not see anything new in this, but I'll point it out as I see it. Yeah, it's pretty standard. Go underneath. Maintain distance. See that he's idling. Okay, yeah, some like I could see that he's idling here, but sometimes I won't go for it just for whatever reason. Like if maybe I'm like panicking, or I just don't feel like it, then I won't go for the idle approach. And yeah, in that case, it's perfectly fine to just let him idle and just wait for his next move. There, he does a move, and I approach, get behind. Yeah, you can see that I sort of like over rotated here. Like I got all the way behind him again, so that now he's like he like turns all the way around really quickly, right? Because gosh, it's so weird in these games. Like if you over strafe or like over rotate, they just like they turn around like instantly, because like you see he's pointing this way, and then very quickly he's pointing the other way. But yeah, it's still savable. You just have to like recognize that it's happening really quickly, and then start moving the other direction. Like, yeah, because you can see here that I still saved it, but just be careful about that. That's definitely what is it? I would definitely say that punishing the windmill this way is optional. Like very optional, because like it looks cool and it's not that hard to do, but especially in like a live run or like, you know, high pressure situation, it can be very easy to mess this up. So definitely either like practice this a lot and get really comfortable, or just don't do it at all. What is it? If you like end up like in front of him and you have like a high reach weapon, you might be able to, I know you like it's technically possible to punish this from the front if you space it really well, but I haven't like practiced that a lot, and I can't really speak to the difficulty of that. It's like, yeah, it's doable, but the timing I think is really tight, so I wouldn't really recommend it. Like either you punish this from behind like this or similar, or you just don't punish this at all, would be my recommendation. But if you feel really confident about like spacing it in front of him, you might be able to figure out a safe punish that way. Yeah, and you can see here that like you can see like look how far away I am from him. Like I'm not right up against him. Like I have like a little bit of distance. Like you can see how far, like look at this distance, and you can still strafe the double swipe like this. It's really lenient if you go clockwise here. But yeah, I saw that he was idling, so I tried to sprint around him. Strafe the double swipe, or the slow double swipe. See that he's idling. I don't go for it, because I guess I don't feel like it. This was a completely unnecessary roll here. Like you can easily strafe the jump attack going counterclockwise like this. I was just feeling extra squeamish, I guess. Yeah, and what is it? When he does the getaway attack like this, it doesn't happen like every time, but fairly often he'll follow up with a fireball, especially if he has like a significant distance on you. So there's that. Another windmill. Yeah, double swipe into fireball. Was it single poke with no follow-up since I was behind him? Single swipe. And yeah, here, since he's kind of next to a wall, I opted not to like, because like, of course, if you go forward left into him, you can strafe whatever he does next, but he's kind of next to a wall, so I want to get away from him a bit here, so I opt to just run away, or walk away and then roll away. Alright, let's play that so it's actually makes sense continuity wise. Here, yeah, again, I can see that he's idling, but for whatever reason, I'm just not going for it. Transition. How much longer do we have on this video? Okay, we're still like halfway through. Jumping R2, get around clockwise, or no, that's counterclockwise. Punish it like that. Let me see, like, what is this? What are these hitboxes looking like? Look at this, dude. Okay, this is I guess with the greatsword it just like works out really easily like this, but I don't know. This is kind of close. Like this, like I don't normally like punishing this attack so aggressively, but with the greatsword, with like its limited punish opportunities, I felt like I really had to go for this one. Golly, that hitbox is quite generous. What is it, running R2 there? Just roll that for simplicity, roll the getaway attack, another jump R2, triple spin. Let's see, this one, yeah, he's a lot higher than I am, so this one wasn't as close, but yeah. Okay, yeah, let's see this again, because I made a point to talk about this before, but it doesn't hurt to like talk about it again. Like, I want to go, like you can see that I want to go counterclockwise around him here. Like, yeah, you can see that I'm holding forward right. Like, I want to get around, but I either recognize that he's doing the poke really early, or I'm like expecting to circle around him, so I switch from forward right to going just forward. And then, yeah, and then going forward left as soon as I recognize that he's doing the single poke. So like, yeah, this, I cannot stress like how important this maneuver is in phase 2. So like, this lets you strafe the triple spin if he does it, and also strafe the single poke if he does it. It's by like circling around counterclockwise, but yeah, like switching which way you're going in the middle of it, and then especially if you read that he's doing the single poke, then going around the other way. Yeah, and then he even does the I think he even does the double swipe follow-up after this, and I guess it doesn't have a hitbox here, because it kind of goes right through me. Oh wait, no, this is not the double swipe, it's the this like slam attack. So let's see that in real time. Yeah, there, that attack. I could have used that to approach, but I guess I was just squeamish again. Yep. Triple spin. Okay, yeah, there I just opted to just roll it. Oh my god, dude. Like, yeah, so... if you practice this boss enough, I guess you can just get away with, like, anything you do. Because, like, I'm going forward right for a bit, and then I see that he's doing the poke, so I try to, like, switch to forward left, and then, like, straight left. I don't get past him. Like, I'm still on this side of him, but he does the single poke, and then he doesn't even follow up with anything. Like, I kind of feel like I got away with something here. But, maybe that's just, like, skill secretly, but I don't know. Golly, I don't know. I feel like he probably, I don't know. It's really hard to tell if the follow-up was available to him or not here. Because I think sometimes you can probably just, like, cancel the combo even if the follow-up is available. So I might have gotten, like, really lucky here, I'm not sure. Which yeah, again, it might be a good idea to, like, sprint a little bit if you're gonna go counterclockwise in phase 2, like, sprinting just for a moment might be a good idea for some of these things. Again, probably jumping R2, yep. And yeah, here's like the single swipe. Here's the single swipe going, what's it called? Counterclockwise around him. You punish it basically the exact same way. So again, like, for a lot of these attacks, going clockwise or counterclockwise doesn't really matter. So let's see that one more time in real time. Okay, here. In this case, I could have gone forward right and, like, strafed this, but for whatever reason, I, like, chose to block cancel and, like, try to, like, walk away. And yeah, because, like, yeah, this attack is reactable and, like, readable. It's just very, very, very fast. So you see that I rolled away, and then the next two spins are, like, they come in quick succession, so you have to roll the first one quite early. Like, you see, I rolled that first one quite early, and then, like, the second one is, like, a buffered roll as fast as possible, like, after the second roll. So yeah, like, if you want to have, like, a complete mastery of Apostle, you'll have to, like, learn eventually to like, completely iframe the triple spin here, or maybe just, like, roll it, because I don't know if I'm technically iframing this attack here. It's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, if you get really, really good at Apostle, you'll be able to, like, react roll to the triple spin as well, like this, yeah. But I don't know, if you play perfectly, you shouldn't ever be in this situation, really. But yeah, in a lot of cases, it's better to, like, know how to recover if you don't play perfectly than to expect yourself to play perfectly all the time. If you have, like, recovery methods or, like, backup strats, it can make your fights more consistent. Tornado, fireball. And yeah, here in phase 2, he does the jump attack with the follow-up. Here I just do a tap R1. Since I'm like kind of behind him here, I know he's not going to do like a bad follow-up, because I think the bad follow-ups only happen if you're like either directly in front of him or like forward and to the left from his perspective. But yeah, if you're kind of behind him, you could do like an R1 like this. With the S-stock, I think a tap R2 is safe here, or like an R1 is also fine, since he kind of like makes a bit of distance for the follow-up anyway. Because like, yeah, he'll basically, like, I think if you're behind him, I think he does this exact follow-up basically every time if you're behind him after the jump attack in phase 2. This follow-up. There. Triple spin. Oh yeah, like I see that he's like kind of out of position, because like, yeah, because like I'm going around this way, so like I'm on his left side here, but like I guess, I don't know, like the tracking and like the over rotation and stuff is like really weird on this attack sometimes. So like, yeah, occasionally like in the middle of the attack, if you get really good, you'll notice that you're on the opposite side of him from where you started, and you're like not in a position to strafe this attack. Okay, so like the second spin is fine, I guess, but yeah, this like third spin, yeah, like you can see that I'm on his right side at the end there, whereas I started at his left side, and I needed to roll here, which will be like a skill you develop, because I don't know, I think if you strafe this attack correctly every time, then he won't have like weird over rotations like this. But it's like, yeah, right, I'm on his forward, I'm on his left side here. Yeah, and I end up on, I mean, for a short period, I end up on his right, and then when I roll, I end up back on his left, so there you go. Charge R2. I could have punished this, I don't know, I was like, this was a really long kill. So I was being like really squeamish in this kill for whatever reason. Yeah, like you can, like if you roll forward left on the phase 2 jump attacks, you can even like use that as an approach, but yeah, you can also just like outspace it in phase 2 if you want to be like really comfy about it. Probably another jump R2. Yeah, and again, like in some cases, like going counterclockwise, even for the single poke, is fine. It's like, yeah, you can see how early I'm going, that I end up basically behind it before anything happens. Whoops. Yeah. I'm not sure that R1 was safe, but I'll let it go for now. Oh my gosh, like, yeah, like this was my downfall. Like, I think this was a very similar mistake to like the other time you saw me get hit. Let's see, what's my mistake? Like, I'm trying to go counterclockwise, and oh, I would have even been fine here, because look, like in this position, let me like let the UI go first. Like, okay, so like, you see me like tap, do I tap the roll input for like literally a single frame? I literally tap like I tap the roll key, like the space bar, for like literally a single frame. Like this, like I must have been like panicking here, or like accidentally pressed it or something. Cause like in this position, I would have been fine. Like I would have been able to strafe the first poke. But since I'm like stuck in a roll now, then I mean, if nothing else, this is like a good example of like why you should strafe the first poke, because if you roll the first poke and you're like really close, and especially if you're at mid roll, you roll like this, and like he does the double swipe right afterwards. If I rolled away instead of rolling sideways, I might have been able to save this. It's really hard to say. But yeah, like I roll sideways for this, and like the double spin just catches me, and that was just a bad sequence of like moves from me. But yeah, I think that's like all the stuff we'll go over today. I have some like other kills and stuff, but I think this is like an hour. Yeah, this is like an hour and a half. I think that's enough. Anyway, thanks for thanks for watching, everybody. See ya.